Hi, this video covers days 13 and 14 of the Indochina group bike tour, which left from Thailand. In this video we're going to travel from Rach Gia in Vietnam to Kampot in Cambodia, crossing the border at Ha Tien. We stay at Kampot, and the following day is a ride up the amazing Bokor Hill. Here we're going to see an empty casino, a ghost city which is still under construction, an old French colonial era church, and an uber creepy hotel that was abandoned by the French, then occupied by the Khmer Rouge, and then restored, and is now looking quite derelict again. What about the ride? Well, in contrast to the previous day, this is an incredible ride through varied scenery. As we leave, we see the last of the Vietnamese traffic. Cambodia is going to be quite different from this. In Vietnam, the drivers are fairly aggressive. The whole place has got a sort of energy to it, a commercial, fast-paced sort of energy, and the roads are the survival of it's the law of the jungle basically, the survival of the fittest. So the biggest vehicles have got the precedence, and they come at you with their horns going and their lights flashing, and you've got to get out of the way. But there's a wonderful energy to Vietnam. It's a rising tiger, and the people are just get on with it. Everybody's hustling, everybody's working. It's great. Here we can see the headland to the northwest, and that's basically where we're heading to. That's where Kampot and Sihanoukville are, out in the Gulf of Thailand there. Here we are at the border, a relatively easy border crossing. We have a guide who helps with a lot of the paperwork and the export of the motorbikes and so on. So I've got to say we have it pretty easy. We hand over the passport, fill a form in, get the stamp, and pay the money. In this case, $45 is the cost of the visa to get into Cambodia. That's for the person. Cambodia has two currencies, it's worth knowing, US dollars and Cambodian riel. People want to take dollars, but they want to give you back riel. The dollars have to be crisp and clean. The riel are generally mangled and munted. So you end up having strategies to give as few dollars as you can so that you don't get too much riel back as change. It's also, it's hard to convert riel when you come back to your home country, but of course US dollars can be converted anywhere. So here we have an absolutely stunning view of the Gulf of Thailand, and we are in Cambodia and heading towards, first of all, Kep Bay, which is on this gulf, and then we'll track slightly inwards towards Kampot. A marked difference in the driving styles here. Everything's much calmer. People pull over to let you pass. They don't hog the outside of the lanes. They're polite and respectful. The Cambodians are a gentle people, and it's the history of the country makes you quite sad. In the description, I put a brief timeline of the sort of Cambodian major points in Cambodian history, just for reference, because a lot of the things that we see, you need a bit of a frame of reference to understand them. A lot of very cool statues, a lot of interesting vehicles with all sorts of things piled on them. And here we are in Kampot, where we spend the night, have a few drinks and a meal. And the next is a ride up Bokor Hill. Bokor Hill is fascinating and well worth a visit. The elevation is just over 1,000 meters, making it again a bit cooler than down on the flat. And there are YouTube videos that go into some of its history and some of the buildings on it. One of the first things that you pass is a city. I don't have a picture of it. There's a city under construction, complete with petrol stations. You wonder why you would want a city 1,000 meters up a wiggly road like that when it's going to be pretty difficult to nip to the shops and get a loaf of bread. The next stop for us is the casino. Equally fascinating. It seems to be mostly empty, but not completely empty. It is in use, but it was built for a far bigger tourism than eventuated, and the obvious reasons for that is a lot of that was Chinese tourism, and then along came COVID and shut that down. We move on to this fabulous old church. This is a French-built church from the 1920s, but it looks Romanesque, Norman, and even with the weathering, it actually looks authentically like it's that old. You see the little opening window there? It's a pretty cool touch. Then you've got this little path. It takes you up to a lookout point. So a short climb up there, and you get this amazing view of the lake, or I guess it's the sea in this case. And our final stop was this crazy hotel. The hotel was built by the French, obviously. It's cool up here, so this is where the French colonialists built their resorts. Then abandoned. It was occupied by the Khmer Rouge for a while. It was one of the interrogation centres, I believe. So I believe that bodies were cast off, or people were cast off the cliffs once they were finished with them. And then it's been restored, but already it's starting to look pretty dilapidated because the conditions up here, cloud, sun, elements, are pretty harsh. Again, it's the weirdest place to build infrastructure like this. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So we're back to Kampot, we have dinner, and then we do a cruise. We take a cruise to see some glowworms. The glowworms sort of hang out in the bushes around the inlet here, and you can take these night cruises to go and see them, and they're pretty impressive. There's a lot of them. This is a very low bridge, so people, as it gets closer, people realize just how low it actually is. Everybody has to duck. And tomorrow we head to Sihanoukville, which is equally fascinating in terms of history and architecture. So thanks very much for watching again, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers now, bye.